Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about procrastination, laziness and patience. What are the key differences between them? Now, if you don't know me, I'm called Mikkel. I've built a company with my business partner Christian where we help coaches completely automate their client acquisition systems through our reliable systems because we believe coaches should be spending their time coaching instead of marketing. We live by the motto of coaches should be coaching and marketers should be marketing. Now, first off, how do you differentiate between procrastination, laziness, and patience, or impatience even? It's a very fine line. It depends on the context. For example, you may feel like you tried a new copy or something, and it's been running for a couple of days, but nothing's happened. Then your monkey brain will go, "Oh no, that's not good. Let's change it." Then that is impatient. Then you are impatient. You don't let it actually work. Let's go ahead and go with an example. In your coaching business, can people come in for one session and then all their problems, and then you know everything about them? It's been tested and everything. No, you don't know everything about the person yet. You have to try a couple of times. You have to give it time. If you just go in and take a look and see, oh, this is how it's been going this day and for the next 4 days, and then go ahead and try and change it. And then once again, 4 days. Then magically you will begin to see results, but you don't know which one of them actually brought out the results. So you have to be patient. When you send out an email copy or just a copy or message in general, you have to send out at least 300. If you don't send out 300 emails, messages, or in general, then you won't know if it's the leads, or the copy, or just because the time of day or just a lot of variables. Then you really have to focus. You have to go out and take a wider area. You have to give it time instead of just going in and doing this and taking all the information from there. Then you have to spread out your arms, taking out a large amount of information. And the only way you'll get there is from actually sending out in a longer period of time. But if you go, instead of like 300, if you go to, oh, I want to do it for 1,000, then it will most likely turn to laziness. Because 300, you will already know a shitload of information. You will be able to see if it actually works or not. If you go to 1,000 and take all that information in, then most of the time, like 98% of the time, you will get the same result as if you just did it to 300. Christian and I, we just found that 300 works pretty well. If you send 300 messages and you get no replies, then you know you have to change it. But if you send the first 50 messages, no replies, then another 50 messages, no replies. Let's say 100 again, no replies. But then, with regression of the mean, then the last 100, a shitload will actually reply most of the time. Because if you just stopped at 200 and you got no replies at all, then you would, oh, this doesn't work. It's pretty poo poo. But if you actually go ahead and let it go out to 300, you will find out all the information you need to actually make a critical decision. If you only do 50, 50 messages or something, then you will not find anything. It will be an irrational decision, an emotional decision. And emotional decisions really ruin a company. It's what actually ruins a company. It's not all the other things. No, no, no. It's irrational, emotional decisions. If you really just think things through, then you won't be in those places where you will actually be down in the gutter. And I talk from experience here. Christian and I, we forgot to do some things, and we just thought, oh, that was procrastination. Rather, we thought, oh, we can do that later. It came and really hit us in the ass, like really. And then we learned a lesson from there. That's also everything we talk about in these YouTube videos. We've personally tried. Otherwise, how could we actually share the information with you if we haven't been in that specific situation? And that's also why we really just try to stress the importance of what we're talking about, because it is so very important. Now, it may not be relevant to you specifically, but maybe another one who's watching this will find it relevant. So we really just try to bring out as much value in these videos as we can. We were a little lazy in the beginning. We were like, oh, it's fine with just a couple of videos. No, it isn't. Once you come up with a plan, stick to it. And if you set a specific time frame to begin, of course, it is ready. You have to be prepared for war. But if you are prepared for war, go ahead and do it. What's holding you back? Only your laziness is. You're just procrastinating. And that's the big thing. Sometimes it's very hard for a specific person to actually differentiate between procrastination, laziness, patience and impatient. Patience. It really is hard to actually find where it splits. Christian and I, we've talked a lot about it actually, and we still haven't figured out the exact place where it splits. But we have come up with some things, and that is if it is going to move the needle. And a lot of the work will. If you're going to better your coaching, but you're like, oh, but I have a big workload today or this week, then that's procrastination. Or it can be patience, because you have to go in and do the work at once, or be focused on one task at a time, and where you can have 100% of your focus on that one task, instead of splitting it into two, where you'll only be able to actually put in 30% of focus on each. Then you lose 20 out of nowhere, because you have to think about both at the same time. So it is really hard to actually differentiate between them. But if you really critically think what you're doing, you'll most of the time find out, is it procrastination? Procrastination is one of the easiest ones to spot. Is it ready? Then release it. If it isn't, then get it ready. You're just procrastinating, you're avoiding, you're doing pain avoidance. Everything is like in the same thing. It's in a bubble of its own. Everything with your mind is in your head. procrastination, laziness, patience, every single thing is in your head. You just have to bring out the good points and leave the bad points. Of course, you have to accept that they exist and then do something about it. If you just go ahead and say, oh, I don't like that, I'm gonna put it in the garbage can. It doesn't work like that. It will always be a part of you. So you have to accept it and then change it. Otherwise, you will be stuck in the same situation. Then it's just laziness. It's really like mind-boggling how to actually differentiate them and how to do the different things. It's really, really hard. Christian and I are still struggling with it. A lot of people we know, 7 or 8 or even 9-figure agency owners, business owners, they still struggle with actually differentiating between them, simply because it's such a fine line. Impatience and patience, laziness and procrastination, they are just part of one thing. It's like if you have a four-sided dice, and each one of the sides is one of them. Patience may be a virtue and laziness is a sin, but they are one of the same. It's when would you differentiate between laziness and patience? Patience is giving it time. Laziness is just not doing the task, so giving it time. Being patient with it is, as I said, giving it time, letting it be, just letting it do its own thing. And laziness is you doing something over there where, oh, funnily enough, it's doing its own thing. So it's really hard to actually differentiate between patience and laziness. They are like stuck together. You can't have one without the other. And it's really also with your paradigm and how you perceive to actually see when is it laziness and when is it patience. Because some of the time, Christian and I, we've been talking and we've been talking about some things, our email system, for example, and then we are like, oh, is this patience? Or are we just being lazy? It's really hard to differentiate between them, but the first step is actually to be aware. So by you watching this video, you will be more aware of them being almost the same, just worded differently, and your perspective. One of them is, at the very least, put up to be bad, and the other is put up to be good. Patience is a virtue, laziness is a sin, but they are the very same. It's just literally the same with all virtues and all sins. They are they are two sides of the same coin. They stick together, and you can't have one without the other, and you can't separate them that well, because when does it stop being patience and when does it become laziness? When is it just extreme laziness instead of patience? Really, what is the differentiator? If you have any idea, or if you want to put out what you think about the topic, then do comment it down in the comment section. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about the topic, because Christian and I, we really want to hear what other people think of the topic, because we've thought a lot about it and we've come to the conclusion that they are the one and same. Impatience is just taking action. Patience is not taking action. Laziness is also not taking action. Impatience, you will get a lot of things done, but most of the time, it's not the needle point moving tasks you are going to do. And patience slash laziness, a lot of the time, you will be able to see, oh, it's this one that will be the very big needle point mover, but you won't be doing anything about it because you're giving it time to work. You really want patience. You want to think about what you put into a video, for example. Laziness, you're just too lazy to actually record the video, so you'll just put in some more information about the video. It's really, really, really hard. I can't stress how hard it is to differentiate them. It's like a very fine line. It's like on a mountain. You on the bottom, at the base of the mountain, it's really easy to differentiate between patience and laziness. But once you get further and further and further up, then you get to the very point of the mountain. Then where is the point? Where is the specific line where it actually splits? It's very hard to put down on paper exactly when. So you have to just put it into your mind. Because you have to be patient sometime, but you don't want to be lazy. Sometimes you have to, funnily enough, give things time to work. Like if you put money into the bank and then with compounding, it will grow. But if it's just laziness and you're just not moving it into the bank even, and then you say, oh, it will grow with time, then it won't. With patience, you will be moving the money in and then waiting for it to grow. It's really hard to say specifically when to split them. So I want you, really, I really want you to go ahead for 15 minutes. Think about what is patience exactly and what is laziness. Then put it down on paper. Of course, it depends on the specific context, but then put it down on paper so that you actually know when is what you're doing patience and when is it laziness. It will help you really grow your coaching business, like really, really grow it, because you will then find out, oh, a lot of the time when you're saying, oh, I'll give it some time, I have to be patient, then it's just laziness. Or maybe the other way around. You aren't giving things time because you're impatient. So really for 15 minutes after this video, it's soon ending, but for 15 minutes, I really want you to go ahead and think, where is the line? It's different. It's different for every single person. It depends on your paradigm. So I want you to go ahead and think about that. But that was pretty much it for this video. If you are a coach struggling with client acquisition or just in need of a reliable system, then the first link down in the description, complete transparency. It's a sales funnel with my business partner Christian, where he just quickly goes through and explains our offer in our service and what we can help you with. For us, it doesn't really matter if you click on it or not, but we just want to put out as much value as possible to each and every single person. That's the major reason why we actually make these videos. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you have any questions or just want to share your brainstorm about the topic in this video, then put it down in the comment section. And if you want to see more of this, then go ahead and subscribe. Goodbye.